Prevagen.
I'm recording.
I might start now. Prevagen.
And welcome to another episode of the Friday edition of Ripping the Rack podcast. I am your co-host, Tim. With me, as usual, is my co-host, Brian.
Greetings and salutations, wonderful people.
Greetings and salutations to you as well.
How you going? How's it going, Tim?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's been a long week.
It has.
It really has. It has been a long week. It's been Monday every day this week. I'm hoping Friday does not turn into Monday.
Part 5.
Part 5. It's just been a long week. It really has.
We used to call those, remember we called them Red Zone Fridays when we worked at Red Zone?
If anything was going to go wrong, it was going to go wrong on a Friday at Red Zone.
At 2:30 or later in the afternoon.
Yes. Yeah. I just...
Hey, I'm back bowling, Tim. I got to see you in person.
I know. And it didn't take you long before you tried to break bowling balls. And
yeah.
You I mean, you were okay. You only had a couple of moments where I thought it was going to go overhand through the backdrop.
What can I say? Old habits die hard.
Which I thought was kind of funny considering you haven't thrown a ball in 3 months. And I was like, oh, he shouldn't be too mad tonight. Yeah.
Well, you know, I still remember how to do it. My body doesn't know how to do it right now.
Well, you've lost 100 pounds.
It happens. It does. But anyways, because we don't talk bowling on Fridays.
That's right.
Let's talk about the big thing in sports right now. And Fernando Tatis Jr., what was it? 14 years, $341 million?
14 years, $340 million to a small market team. San Diego is considered a small market team.
Do you think, A, they're sick of getting their asses thumped by their neighbors to the south, the Dodgers? Or is that the north? To the north. Sorry, I don't know California.
So San Diego is on the border of Mexico and California.
Okay. Do you think they're sick of getting thumped by their neighbors? Or do you think they're like, let's try and make a run?
I think
we got this kid. Let's make a run.
I think it's both. And the reason why is they went out and they got Yu Darvish, who was the Cubs ace.
And loves to pitch on the West Coast. They went out and got Blake Snell, who was a Cy Young Award winner 2 years ago. Great pitcher from Tampa. Who will thrive in the AL West without that big AL East lineup to face all the time.
NL West.
Yeah, but he pitched in the AL East.
I know, but you said AL West.
I don't know if I did. But it's recorded, so we'll find out.
It's recorded for posterity's sake.
Don't talk about your asshole on this.
Oh, I can't help it. My asshole's pretty cool. I don't know. Just sounded like the right thing to say. Hey, what did the cannibal do after he dumped his girlfriend?
Went out for a bite to eat?
Wiped his ass.
That's gross. That's pretty gross, Tim. Anyways, do you think they go out and get somebody at the deadline this year too, a big name player at the deadline?
I don't know as if they necessarily need to. It's all going to depend on injuries at this point. San Diego is loaded
with young talent.
And
you know what's great about that team? They can all run. Everybody can steal. Well,
they've got speed. They hit for power. They've got great pitching.
And they're not like, and the thing about especially Tatis, he doesn't care if it's 3-0. If you groove him one, he's going to hit it into the next county.
My God, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yes.
And he doesn't care if they're up 42-0. He's still hitting that thing out of the ballpark.
He's still swinging for the fences, which is, I like Tatis. I like the way he plays the game. I love his enthusiasm for the game. I was an old just the old guy. When
I was a fan of his dad too. I remember watching his dad play when I was in Little League.
So here's the thing: is I was always old school with baseball. You had your unwritten rules that you followed with the game of baseball. But I got to admit that these young kids and the young talent that's coming up and showing emotion and putting their heart into the game and really, like, I'm turning into a fan of the bat flip.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't. I'll be honest, I wasn't. And it really started to change for me when Toronto Blue Jays.
Was the Bautista bat flip in the playoffs?
Oh yeah, with Bautista in the playoffs. It was such a huge moment, and I mean, I'm still not sold on that bat flip. That was like, okay, that might.
Oh no.
You
should have flipped that thing out of the stadium.
But I like the way these young kids play the game. I like the way they show their enthusiasm for the game. It's baseball. It's a game.
It reminds me of Griffey in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Like 95, wearing his hat backwards in the home run derby and just hitting bombs.
Yeah. There is a lot, look, even the Red Sox, they've got players that I have no idea who they are now, with some of the moves that Chaim Bloom has made this year. But
I'm nervous. I don't like our season. I think we're in last again.
No. God, no. Baltimore might not win 20 games. They're projected. So right now.
So wait, hold on. Speaking of Baltimore and old Baltimore players, is what's his name still the third baseman for San Diego too?
I don't know what's his name. Oh, Machado?
Yeah. Is he still over there in San Diego with Tatis?
God, is he there or is he in LA?
No, he went from LA.
He went from LA to San Diego. I think he's still in San Diego.
Because he was the final strikeout in the World Series that year.
Yeah, so I don't like Machado for one reason and one reason only.
Because he doesn't hustle?
Nope, because the slide into the knees of Destroyer ruined his career.
Yeah.
So as far as I'm concerned, Machado can get thrown.
And he spikes first baseman when he runs through the bag.
Yeah.
He's known to do it multiple times.
Yeah. So I'm not a Machado fan.
I think he's a good ball player. I think he could have been great if he could have hustled.
But for me.
Hi, Luna.
Hey, Luna. You want to say hi?
Say hi to everybody, Luna.
No? Okay.
That's our podcasting producing pussy. That's Luna.
This is our co-producer. Oh, no, get off there. There you go.
Don't show everyone your butthole, Luna. It's not that type of podcast.
It's not that podcast. So young players and Red Sox. So I am a huge fan of Devers. I'm a huge fan of Bogarts. I think I believe they play the game the right way. I love the way they play the game, the enthusiasm for the game. Look, I've been a diehard Sox fan since the late 70s. I will continue to be a Sox fan regardless of how good or bad they are. It's just I will be able, if they're bad, then I'll just bitch more about them.
Right. As any true New Englander will do.
Right. It's like bitching about the Celtics. They're bad. They're
not bad. They're just
not 500 team. They're bad. When you're you went into the season,
but then 8 of them got COVID. Tatum says he still has trouble breathing at points.
I get that. You barely beat a Denver team the other night who had 5 of their 9 starters or 5 of their 9 players, main players, not playing in the game. And you barely beat them.
Let me ask you a question about the Celtics, shifting gears. Do they need to go out and get a premier player?
No. they don't need a premier player. They need a starting big. I'm a big Robert Williams fan. I think he's going to be a tremendous player in the league for a long time. But I don't think he is a 35-minute game player right now.
You think we need Drummond from Cleveland?
Drummond would be a good fit.
And here's another name for you, Blake Griffin.
No. He doesn't play inside anymore. He sits at the 3-point line and shoots a 3. He's old.
I think they need a premier player the same way that they needed Garnett. I think right now we are in the Ron Mercer, Antoine Walker era of Celtic basketball. That's where we are. No, that's where we are. We got, 2 pretty good players in Jaylen Brown and Tatum, and then we're just Arizona hot trash bags everywhere else. Like
they went out and they
need a Kevin Garnett. They need a premier player.
Look, they went out and got Kemba Walker. Hold on. They got Kemba Walker, who they thought was
is the Ray Allen.
No, they thought he was the all-star player from Charlotte. That's what they were getting. Unfortunately, they got a broken-down Kemba Walker, who is on the downside of his career, but they're paying him at an all-star level. But he's not producing at an all-star level.
They did with Gordon Hayward.
Gordon Hayward just got injured. He's lighting it up in Charlotte. He's lighting it up.
How about that, huh? How about him and Lamar? Was it Lamar? LaMelo is out there?
Yeah, LaMelo.
I hate the Ball family. I'm a Ball hater. I don't like them. I
don't like the father.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And that's the problem.
When here's a point. When you have your dad do a lot of your talking, no matter what it's in, people are gonna have a shitty opinion of you.
I don't think they care.
But that's just in anything,
They're making millions of dollars playing a game. And frankly, at one point you had all 3 brothers in the NBA. The father obviously did something right.
He marketed his So here's the thing. He is what Bosworth's dad was trying to do. Remember the Boz?
Brian Bosworth, yeah.
The Boz.
Yeah.
Like groomed to be an NFL player.
Yeah. It's by the way, what's the difference between erotic and kinky?
One is you use the feather, one is you use the whole chicken.
Damn it. You know that one. I will.
Yeah.
I will catch you today. Anyway, so for me, the Celtics need a big. The problem is I think they have to trade Kemba Walker, but who's going to take on his contract at his age? Because everybody knows he's broken down at the moment. He's got a knee problem that he can't shake.
Pau Gasol wants to come back. He says he's in shape and he wants to make a run. Do you sign him? I have a feeling he wants to go to LA.
I think he wants to go LA and play with his brother.
And win a championship with his brother and for Kobe because he and Kobe were best friends.
Yeah. So
that makes them real scary. You imagine putting Pau Gasol out there with Anthony Davis and LeBron?
Well, it all depends on how Davis's Achilles is. I mean, that's a scary.
I'd send him through the All-Star break right now. I'd be like,
I can't even believe they're having an All-Star game. But that's neither here nor there. Last thing with the Celtics is ultimately they're a playoff team, even though right now they sit one game. They're in the playoffs by one game right now.
How bad is the East, though? And how bad has the East been for a few years? I mean...
Top level, the East can compete with the West. Top level.
But there's only 3 top-level teams in the East.
That's the
top level.
That's the problem.
Miami?
Nope. Miami's 11-17.
They were last year. They were a top-level team.
Year. This year is Milwaukee, Philadelphia, and
Philadelphia can't win a big game. They can't.
They
will not win a championship.
They have a good coach who is getting everything out of Joel Embiid now.
They don't have a veteran. They need, and even with Doc, he had Jeff Green. Wasn't it Jeff Green that year?
Oh, you mean they got
who was their veteran and then went on to play in New Orleans? He signed.
Yeah, no, I know who you're talking
Teague?
about. Yeah. Well, no, Teague is playing for the Celtics now.
But you know what I mean? He needs a veteran leader, and he doesn't have it.
You know, I would tend to agree, except for this.
I think that's in any sport. Even in bowling, too. In any sport, you need a veteran person if you have a young team to look at everyone and say, sit down, shut up, act like you've been here. That's what you need. If you look at any championship team in the last decade, they all have one veteran or journeyman that's been there before on that team. I just think it helps. I just think it makes your young players that much better.
Yeah. You know, I think when you look at the West in the NBA, when you look at the West is loaded right now between, the Lakers, Utah, Denver.
Oh, and the East, by the way, power teams, we forgot about New Jersey or Brooklyn.
Oh, Brooklyn. Yeah. I'm sorry. And now that they have James Harden, who apparently
shed 60 pounds in 3 weeks.
Well, I mean, when you're making millions, you can afford to do that. Hire the right nutritionist and everything else. And
it's a hell of a juice cleanse, man.
And the fact is that, he's playing at a level because he's bought into winning.
Okay, let me talk to you about this because I find this really interesting in basketball. The Draymond Green comment. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Draymond Green makes all sorts of comments. So
Draymond Green put the NBA and the Cleveland Cavaliers on blast because he said, this is bullshit. He said, you guys crucified Rich Harden for asking for a trade and then sitting out.
Is that because he was throwing fastballs?
Well, or sorry, James Harden. He goes, you guys crapped all over Kyrie for wanting to take mental health. But you guys won't say a bad word about a team purposely sitting a guy that wants to play because they're going to trade him. He goes, this is hypocritical bullshit.
I don't know. I think it's two different things.
I don't. I agree with Draymond on this.
Really?
Yeah.
I think if a team is trying to trade someone, I think they're doing the right thing in sitting them so they don't get hurt. They're trying to trade them.
But
I have
that's
a problem.
Taking somebody that wants to play and saying, no, you can't. That's bullshit.
Why? They're still getting paid.
Because the NBA has also fined coaches like Pop for sitting players.
Different reason for sitting them.
They're sitting them to rest. This is sitting them so they don't get hurt. It's kind of the same thing.
No, it's two different things because you're trying to trade one versus you're trying to win a championship. It's two different things.
So you defend the NBA and fining Popovich for resting players to win a championship?
I only have a problem with that. So here's the thing is you got to remember, I'm a little bit old school. The Celtics in 85 and 86, when they were the best team in basketball, they didn't sit people. There was no such thing as load management. You played. I do have a problem with players these days setting out games for load management. Personally, I actually am going to defend LeBron James here. LeBron James, at 36 years old, who has played 18 years in the league, has played in every game this year. His load management is coming in game, meaning he's not going out and playing 40 minutes.
No, he's playing 22 minutes. 24. Yeah.
And then the next game he's
still dropping 30.
Right, and the next game he's going out and playing 36. and then he has a game where he only plays
18.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that type of load management. Now,
he calls it he calls it game-to-game points and presence situations.
It's like also a little bit different. They don't really have fans in the stands right now. You do in some places.
They have Karen, or Mad Karen, as LeBron called her.
So here's my whole thing now. I'm going to try to wrap it all up here is, if you have a normal season where you have fans paying hundreds of dollars to go to games, I disagree with teams sitting players to rest them when the fans are paying that much money to see these teams play. I know it's different than if I owned a team or if I was a GM and I'm saying, you know what, Brian, I know you're not happy here. Look, I'm going to trade you. I am not playing you tonight. You are sitting tonight. I don't want you to get hurt. You're going to be traded in the next couple of days. You're still getting paid. It's a different reason for sitting someone other than, hey, Brian, I know you played yesterday. Yeah, we're not going to play you tonight because it's a back-to-back. It's the second game of a back-to-back. You know, we're on the road, and we got to travel tomorrow back home, and we got 2 days off there, so I'm going to give you a third day off. That I have a problem with. I don't know if that makes sense.
No. But here's my question then. What if that player, it's like, oh, I want to give you some time off, with the player's like, I don't want any. I'm good to go. I'm just going to play. The same thing is, we're going to trade you. I don't care. I want to play.
The player doesn't dictate when they go in and when they don't go in. He's just going to sit on the end of the bench. See where I'm coming?
You're paying them a shitload of money to do a job. They want to do that job. Yep. Let them do that job.
But how many of them are really saying, you know what, Coach, I know I'm supposed to sit tonight, but I really want to play tonight?
I don't know. It was always my thing. When I played sports, I didn't want to take a down off. When they told me that I couldn't play like special teams the first, like this will tell you something. When I went full-time varsity my sophomore year of high school, and they said, oh, you're not playing JV anymore, I'm like, no. It's an extra game I get to play a week. I want to play. And he's like, you're my starting left tackle. Your job is to protect the quarterback, and you're very good at it. If you blow your knee out in a JV game, I'm going to be pissed. No. And I'm like, I want to play. Like, I almost told my coach I'm just getting on the bus to go, and he's like, no. I just have that mindset.
I'm not ignoring you, but literally the cat has jumped up on the door and is literally standing on that little...
Yeah, they're good at that, huh?
I don't know.
Are you going to show us?
I don't know.
Oh, wow. Holy shit. Hi, Luna.
Oh, can you see her up there?
Yeah. Holy crap. Hi, Luna.
Like, I don't know how she's going to get that. Like,
oh, we're going to find out here. This is Little Tim's Big Cat Sanctuary. Right here on
Ripping the Rack Podcast.
Yeah, Ripping the Rack Podcast. We got Luna, our podcasting producing kitty.
This is riveting right here, folks. Riveting, and I don't know what the fuck she's going to do. Like, this is what she's jumping down to, somewhere around here.
Whoops, but anyways, with... I never wanted to miss a game, and I just think if you're a professional athlete, for fuck's sake, you're doing what millions of people want to do.
I know. I don't know. They do it. I know they do it in baseball, load management, and it drives me nuts there too because, again, growing up.
It doesn't mean, though, and the reason is we all have jobs. We get days off. If you had to work every single day at your job, if you had every single day, you had to go to work.
I don't remember the last time I took a day off.
Do you have Saturday, Sunday off?
Yep.
There you go.
Do basketball players only play 3 times a week?
Most of the time, yeah.
Maybe 4.
Yeah.
Sometimes only 2.
Would you say, though, that, like, they're practicing every day? That's work.
Shooting around, practicing.
Conditioning, running stairs.
Again, the difference is they're making millions of dollars.
I have no problem if, like, even Tatis, I have no problem if he looked at me and said, hey, I need a day off. Hey, no problem, man. You know your body. We need you for the rest of the season. I have a problem if it's like, hey, we're 2 games out of the playoffs and we got 4 games left and you want to take a day off. Not today, bud.
No, and look, that's I think that's in any sport. When you're nearing the end of the season and you're either just in or just out, you know what I mean? It's one thing if, look, we're 6 games out of the playoffs with 5 games to go. I'm not playing you the rest of the season because I want to see my young kids.
Yeah.
I want to see what I got. Or it's the same thing with basketball. Look, I'm 6 games out. I got 5 games left. You know what, Brian? We're not playing you the rest of the season. I want to play the end. I want to play the bench guys to see what I got for next year, to see what I can bring back.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, that is different.
It's different and it makes sense.
Hey, can we switch gears real quick?
Okay.
I want to talk hockey for a second.
All right.
So I'm going to pose something to you.
Okay.
If your team is 10-2-2 on the season,
I'm happy.
Yep. You're the number 1 team in your division right now. Now, granted, the divisions are all fucked up.
Well, COVID divisions, yeah.
COVID divisions. You're the number 1 team.
Okay.
You have the number 1 line, or one of the number 1 lines in the NHL.
Yeah, the perfect line.
Perfection line. Do you break that up?
Never.
So what the fuck are the Bruins doing?
They're doing what the Bruins usually do, and they have a great thing, and then they fuck it up. Or they take something really great, and they make it a little bit more bad, so they can have more of it. You know?
It boggles my mind that, and I know Pasternak was okay with it. Like he was excited. He said he plays well with that second line with those group of guys. Mm-hmm. What is it? The Brett Ritchie and the oh my God, I can't even think of who that.
I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of the Bruins this year, sadly.
Holy! I'm drawing a complete and utter blank on. Well, I do have the old Google machine here.
Oh, your Google machine. All right.
This will tell me who it was. Let's see. Oh, Nick Ritchie, not Brett Ritchie, and
I wonder if he's relation to Mark Ritchie. Mark, is he relation to you? Let us know.
No, different spelling.
All right, don't let us know then.
Yeah, David Krejci. I was having a brain cramp, and
I think we need Joe Thornton back.
Thornton. I love Joe Thornton. I was sad when they got rid of him. I used to love that line with Thornton and Samsonov.
Oh yeah, Sergei
Samsonov. Absolutely. I used to love Samsonov. Little guy, just like what they have Brad Marchand.
He's a little ball of hate.
Except for he wasn't a little ball of hate. He was just a good player. I don't understand. I don't understand what the Bruins are doing by breaking that line up. It makes zero sense to me. Again, I'm not a GM. I never claimed to be a GM. I'm just a long time.
No sense.
I'm just a long time Bruins fan. So for me, it just doesn't make sense that you would break up arguably one of the best lines in hockey.
Right. No, I hear you.
It doesn't make sense that you would weaken your team like that.
Nah. Nothing that the Bruins do surprises me anymore. So.
I know. I just don't.
And you know what? This is a Claude Julien decision, and he's not there anymore. Like,
oh, I'm so glad Claude's not there anymore.
We used to scream it when we were in the fraternity house. The playoffs. We'd scream, "Cloud, what are you doing to the Bruins?"
It just
that man has no idea what offensive hockey is.
No.
He thinks you win games 1-0.
Hey, what does a 75-year-old woman have between her breasts that a 25-year-old doesn't?
Her belly button.
God damn it! Damn it!
Dude, I've hung around a bowling alley since I was like 3 or 4 years old, man. I've heard a lot of bad jokes.
I know. Thought I had you on that one. What else? Oh, Carson Wentz is traded.
Yeah, to Chris Merrill's Indianapolis Colts.
Yep.
The land where mediocre quarterbacks go to retire.
I always knew there was something strange about Chris.
He's a Colts fan, man.
I know. There's not many of them.
Dustin Klein's a Colts fan.
Again, there's not many of them.
I was a Peyton Manning fan. I didn't like the Colts, but I liked Peyton Manning. Omaha. I think Peyton Manning is one of the 3 best quarterbacks of all time. I do.
I think it's a great quarterback. Great regular season quarterback.
Hey, he's got 2 Super Bowls.
Yes, he does. He can thank Von Miller for one of them.
Yep.
He can thank that Denver defense because his noodle arm was not winning them.
But his 5 head helped.
But his 5 head definitely helped.
And Cam Newton that's when the Cam Newton shit your pants tour began.
It will be interesting to see what happens with Philadelphia.
Who's your pick to win the Super Bowl next year already?
Oh my God.
Yeah, come on.
Right now?
Yep.
Kansas City. I think anyone that chooses anything other is foolish.
Pittsburgh, because that's where Watt's going.
Watt's going to Green Bay.
No way.
Yep.
No way. He's going to Pittsburgh. Play with his brothers.
J.J. Watt is going to Cleveland. He likes what they're doing. They're starting to win. But
he's going to play with his brothers.
Nope. You know what I would do if I were J.J. Watt? He has already said this is not about money. He wants to win. If I were him, I would call up the Kansas City Chiefs and I'll say, I'll play for the league minimum. Give me some incentives. I'm yours. Or he'd go to Tampa Bay. I just...
There's no point in him coming to Dallas because we are hot garbage.
No.
Dak, we need to get rid of Dak. We need to get rid of Zeke.
And there's no way he would go to. As much as I would love to see him in the New England.
We need to do a sign and trade with Dak to Houston for Deshaun Watson.
You're not a Dak fan anymore, huh?
I've never been a Dak fan. The last quarterback in Dallas I liked was Troy Aikman. I was not a Romo fan. I'm not a Dak fan. Look, these are my favorite quarterbacks of all time, and you'll get a hint of what kind of quarterback I like. Joe Montana, John Elway, Troy Aikman, Marino, Drew Bledsoe. Are you getting a trend here?
Did you just say
Peyton Manning? I like pocket passing quarterbacks.
Hold the horses here. You literally just said 6 quarterback names, and not once did you go to the best pocket quarterback the league has ever seen.
Who? I don't like Tom Brady.
Dude, you said on the last one that he is the greatest of all time. You cannot go back on it. If he's the greatest of all time, then how the hell do you leave him off that list?
I don't like him. He's the greatest quarterback of all time, but I don't like him.
Oh my God, you're such an idiot.
No, I'm not. I don't like Tom Brady.
Maybe idiot's the wrong word, and I apologize for that.
That's okay, but hear me out. This is what I don't like about him, and I'm going to go to a term my grandmother used to use. He's smarmy. Like, he just looks like he's like a used car salesman.
I know it sucks, and he just wins.
No, he's just he looks like the absolute essence of a dick. Like he just looks like a dick.
Except for every single person that's ever played with him, offense and defense, I have yet to hear one person say a negative thing about him. As a former teammate.
He looks like the guy that invites the rookies out to eat and then makes them pay. Like, he just seems like that kind of guy.
I don't know.
Anyways, I want a pocket passing quarterback.
So you want Tom Brady?
No, the ultimate test to prove Tom Brady is the greatest of all time is if he can go to the Jets and win a Super Bowl.
Oh, no.
That's final boss territory. You go to the Jets and win a Super Bowl.
No. No, he's got to go to Dallas and win a Super Bowl.
Honestly, right now, Tom Brady could not. We're worse than the Jets.
That's pretty bad.
Dallas is the worst team in football. And I'm a Dallas fan, but we are the worst team in football. We have no middle linebackers. We have one defensive lineman.
Okay. So you got.
We have no defensive backs. We have one receiver. We have a quarterback that likes to play when he wants to play. We have a fumble machine at running back.
And you've got the worst owner in the league.
Yes. If Jerry Jones is the Donald Trump of football.
If Jerry Jones really, truly cared about the Dallas Cowboys,
he would sell them.
I'm not even saying he'd have to sell them. He would hire a president of football operations and say, run the team.
He did. He hired himself.
I know. This is what I mean. He can own the team if he would just back the fuck off and let the football players or the football people run the football team. The problem is he thinks he knows more about the game of football than every other person that's ever lived.
Mm-hmm.
Because he won 2 Super Bowls back with Jimmy Johnson and...
He had nothing to do with those Super Bowls. That was Jimmy Johnson.
And Barry Switzer.
Barry Switzer fell into a Jimmy Johnson Super Bowl. That should have been Jimmy Johnson's
I know,
last
but
Super Bowl.
Jerry Jones owned the team.
And Jimmy Johnson pissed him off.
And
Jerry fired him.
Running the team. No, I know. Look, I get it. I know you're a Dallas fan. You know more about Dallas Cowboys than I ever will.
I absolutely hate Jerry Jones. I don't see a need for him to be on the sidelines. I don't see a need for him to be in the stadium. I don't.
I get it. I'm okay with it. I completely understand.
I'm sick of my football season ending on Thanksgiving every year. Because that's what it does.
I get it. I totally understand. For the longest time, my team sucked. And I have been spoiled for the last 20 years as a New England Patriots fan.
We've been spoiled. I have been very spoiled. And this is kind of like, I know we're running up against time here, but I've had a pretty good overall. I was thinking about this the other day, overall sports life. This is kind of the worst it's been for the sports teams I like. Because, I was a Cowboys fan in the 90s. I was a Duke fan in the 90s when I was a kid, I was a Celtics fan, but I was a Jordan kid. So, actually, you know what's funny? I didn't like Jordan so much, I liked Pippen. Scottie Pippen was my favorite basketball player for a long time.
Okay. So, I've lived through the lean years of all of my teams. Meaning...
I'm going through that kind of right now.
So, meaning I was a Red Sox fan. So, I've been a fan of all New England sports. So your Patriots, your Bruins, your Celtics, and
the Maine Mariners,
and your Red Sox. Oh, I love the Maine Mariners. Everyone. So I started to be really a fan of these in the late 70s. I was 8 years old in 1979. So I have a vague Now, granted, that was 40 plus years ago, so I don't remember everything from back then. But right. I was a Celtics fan, so basically from 1980 on, when they drafted Larry Bird, 1979. So I saw them win 3 championships, and then they've won 1 championship in the last 35 years. They are not the team people think they are. They're not the big, hairy winning machine anymore. They've won once in 35 years. Some of that's on Danny Ainge, not bringing in the right people.
A lot of that, though, is back. I mean, come on. When 20 years your coach is Chris Ford and ML Carr.
You got to remember, though, Danny Ainge has been the GM for 18 years now.
But
he's won once, and that was 12 years ago.
With a loaded team.
Pretty much.
The team was. That's why I'm saying.
I know.
We need to go out and we need to get. As much as I like Jaylen Brown, we need to trade him to get a stud.
No, I wouldn't trade Brown or Tatum. To me, those are your 2 untradables.
You need who do you trade to get a premier player? You need a premier player. They don't win without a premier player.
You need 3 premier players now to win. Lakers have LeBron, Anthony Davis, and actually they only have 2. Brooklyn's got 3 with Durant, Harden, and Kyrie.
Golden State has
Golden State had
3 when Klay Thompson's healthy.
If Klay was healthy, I'd say they have 2. I don't consider Draymond an elite player. I think he's.
I'm in the minority of I like Draymond.
I think he is one of the most overrated players. That if he played on another,
I think he is this era's Dennis Rodman.
No, he is. Well, okay, fine. Poor man's Dennis Rodman.
He's great value, Dennis Rodman.
He would suck on 90% of the other teams. He has got it made where he is because he's got Seth Curry, who is arguably one of the top 5 players of this era. I'll say it.
No, I agree.
So
it's probably him, Durant, LeBron, Russ, and Harden.
Yeah. I mean,
3 of them were on the same team at one point.
Chris Paul, you could throw Chris Paul in there. I mean, you could throw some other players in there, but really that's what it is. I've seen the Red Sox at their worst. I've seen the Patriots at their worst, 1 in 15 years. I know it. I've seen it. I know what bad looks like. And, of course, the Bruins, I was lucky enough that they were always in the playoffs until they had a stretch in the 90s, late 90s.
After Cam Neely retired.
When they were terrible. But, I've been spoiled since the Patriots won in 2001. The last 20 years, as a New England sports fan, I have been absolutely spoiled. By the way, side note, squirrel moment, shiny thing moment. How about that new $110 million plan for the University of Maine Athletics?
Holy shit. As an ex-University of Maine athlete,
I fucking love it.
Oh, it looks beautiful. It's a premier facility.
I can't wait until they get... I mean, it's everything. You're going to have basketball back on campus.
Instead of playing over at the Cross Center.
Instead of playing in Bangor.
Have you ever been to did you ever go to a game in the pit?
No, I never went to a
on the field house.
No, I take that back. I did back in the early 90s. So I graduated high school in 89. So it would have been that, the couple of years after high school when I was visiting friends up at UMaine, partying, doing stuff like that. We would go to games. We would go to some hockey games.
None of that goes on at UMaine. A lot of Bible reading circles at UMaine. That's what we did for fun. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I went to the other part of UMaine that was known for partying.
There's a part of UMaine that parties?
There was. I know you weren't familiar with it.
No, not at all.
I know that's why you went the 5-year plan at UMaine.
Hey, I made Dean's List 2 semesters. Thank you. Then I started drinking.
Then you...
You've never once seen me walk out of a store buying beer in front of half the high school kids I coached in Pee Wee football.
No, I never saw you do that. It is. I can't wait to go to a game up there. I want to get some basketball games up there when they're done.
If the people in Maine that are listening, if you've never been to a UMaine UNH hockey game, you are missing out.
It is. I don't care how bad the UMaine hockey team is. Something about when they play UNH,
it's the national title game every time.
Oh my God, it's fantastic.
And how great was it in 2000 when Maine won one of their national titles by beating UNH?
Oh God, college hockey is fun to go to. It's just fun.
I went to a lot of hockey games.
Well, you know what? It's just such a good time. It really is.
It really is. It really is. And
if you get the chance to go, they do it right. They really do. They do it right up there.
They don't muzzle the student section.
No. Nope. It's fun.
It is.
As a kid in an adult's body, going to those games is fun for me. I don't join in, but man, do I sit back and just go, fuck yeah.
When you hear the whole student section pointing at the opposing goalie going, Civ.
Oh, yeah.
Civ.
Oh, it's fantastic. But this new plan that they have, and I think it's a total of a $500 million upgrade plan that the Alphons have gifted the University of Maine system.
Yeah.
To go for everything. It's not just athletics. That's education. That's over all of the campuses.
The library's getting an overhaul.
Yeah. No.
The Stevens building, which is where I spent a lot of my time, which is the education building, hasn't been upgraded since 1987.
Yep.
That's getting all rehauled. They're doing a new 500-person social distance compliant lecture hall.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's when they're done. Number one, they're going to have the athletic facilities now to be able to attract some of the better players that they were recruiting, but they just couldn't.
It's a hard sell to come to Maine to be an athlete when you're going to spend the majority of your time in 0-degree weather and snow.
It's a hard sell to come to Orono. If the University of Maine flagship place was in Portland,
never happened.
I'm not saying it's going to happen.
I don't even like it. I don't even like the idea. And you know what it is? It's because I went to Orono.
I know. Look, Jordan went to Orono. I'm a dad of a child that graduated from University of Maine Orono. What I'm saying is, if the flagship campus, let's turn this around and put USM was the flagship campus, and UMaine Orono was the USM. Okay, you following me? You would attract more of the more of the mid-level talent at Division I sports because of the city of Portland and the things to do down in that area. It's easier to get to. There's more to do. You're an hour and a half from Boston or 2 hours from Boston. So you would attract more. I'm not saying that it has to be that way. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. This new facility that they're building, that includes the two new indoor practice fields, the new indoor basketball court that they will have for both men and women, the new locker rooms, the new weight rooms, they
don't need new weight rooms. I'm sorry. They have the athletes had their own weight room, which was a goddamn millions of dollar facility that was built the last year I was there.
Which one? Not the New Balance Center.
No. That was built when I was there, though. This is tell you how old I was. I was one of the first 100 people in that New Balance facility.
Yeah, that's a nice.
We had the intramural softball championships it was the first game in the bubble when that went up, and I played in that. I had the starting third baseman and the starting shortstop on the UMaine baseball team was the left side of my infield for my softball team.
You've got a new soccer field being built.
You've got a new field hockey field,
a new lacrosse stadium, a new field hockey stadium. You're going to have a new softball stadium, and I don't think they're having a new baseball stadium. I think
they're overhauling Mahoney Diamond because Mahoney Diamond is beautiful.
Yeah. So you are going to have some amazing facilities for your programs.
And that's to draw kids there. And you know what's sad? You know when UMaine is the most beautiful campus you'll ever see? The 3 months out of the year, no one's there.
Oh, yeah.
June, July, and August. Oh, my God. You just go walk around that campus.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It really is.
Say that. October is beautiful as well.
Oh, God, yes.
October, when you get the mall and you're out there and it's, a nice...
Playing campus golf?
Yeah. I might have done something like that.
First hole is from the campus to the big cannon all the way down across from the steam plant parking lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
It's about a 6-iron.
We've gone way over.
But we're having fun. So thank you guys for listening to us ramble about sports and other stuff.
So, as usual, for those listening, Tuesday morning, we are working on a guest. Hopefully we'll have an answer and we will have a guest for this week. Send in your questions, please. rippingtherackpodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at Ripping the Rack Podcast. Find us on Twitter at Ripping the Rack Podcast. Find us on YouTube at Ripping the Rack Podcast. Brian, where else can they hear our...
They can listen to us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google Podcast, Anchor, Breaker, and wherever else you consume your podcast media, folks.
Perfect. Brian, have a great weekend.
You too, bud.
People, thank you.
Peace.
Peace.